Welcome to the best 38 minutes of your life. Ready to reclaim your life? This masterclass is a carefully curated compilation of our top 3 videos, created just for you. Start your journey to reprogram your brain, escape the survival trap, and begin thriving. Grab your popcorn, settle in with your favorite drink, and let's go. Hey everybody, welcome to Advice Central. Today we're diving into a topic that affects millions. Are you middle class or working class? The answer might not be as simple as you think. Make sure to watch until the end, because we're breaking down the key differences, and some of them might surprise you. Have you ever wondered where you fit in the economic ladder? You might have a stable job, pay your bills on time, and even afford a few luxuries. But does that make you middle class? Or do you still feel like you're just getting by? The line between middle class and working class isn't always clear. It's not just about how much money you make, but also where you live, how many people depend on your income, and whether you feel financially secure. While the traditional idea of working class was tied to blue-collar jobs, today it's more about economic uncertainty. So, are you middle class or working class? Let's break it down. 1. Understanding the middle class. The term middle class is often thrown around in discussions about income, lifestyle, and financial stability. But what does it actually mean? There isn't a single universal definition. But in general, being middle class means earning enough to afford a decent standard of living without constant financial stress. Economists typically define middle class based on income, often using Pew Research's standard, earning between 2/3 and double the national median household income. However, this definition varies depending on household size. For example, a single person earning $30,000 to $90,000 a year is considered middle class, while a family of 4 needs to make between $67,100 and $201,270 to fit the same category. But income alone doesn't tell the full story. Many people earning middle-class wages don't feel financially secure. Factors like debt, housing costs, and inflation can make someone feel working class even if their paycheck suggests otherwise. Similarly, someone with a lower income but no major expenses or debts may feel more financially comfortable than their income bracket suggests. 2. The role of income in determining middle-class status. While the middle class is often associated with a specific income range, context is crucial. What counts as middle class in one region might not in another. A household earning $70,000 per year may live comfortably in a small Midwestern town, but struggle to afford rent and basic necessities in a major city like New York or San Francisco. Beyond regional differences, the source of income also plays a role. A salaried employee with benefits, a retirement plan, and job security might feel firmly middle class, while a gig worker making the same annual income could experience financial instability. Middle-class status is not just about how much money you make, it's also about how predictable and secure your earnings are. Another critical factor is household size. A single person earning $50,000 per year may have enough disposable income to travel, save, and invest. But if that same income has to support a family of 4, it may no longer feel middle class. This is why many economists prefer a nuanced approach that considers both income and expenses when determining economic class. 3. How location affects your economic class. One of the biggest factors in determining whether someone is middle class or working class is where they live. A salary that provides financial security in one part of the country may barely cover basic expenses in another. For example, a 2-person household making $50,000 per year in rural Iowa may live comfortably, while the same income in San Francisco or New York City might not even be enough to afford rent. This is why economists often prefer a regional approach when defining middle class. Instead of applying a national income range, they compare a household's income to the median income in their specific area. Pew Research provides a calculator that takes into account location, household size, and income to give a more accurate classification. Beyond just cost of living, state taxes, housing prices, and job opportunities also impact financial stability. Someone making $70,000 a year in a low-tax state with affordable housing might feel middle class, while someone with the same salary in a high-cost city could feel working class due to high rent, expensive groceries, and costly transportation. Simply put, middle-class status isn't just about how much you earn, it's about how far that money goes in your specific location. 4. Working class. The term working class has evolved over time. Traditionally, it referred to blue-collar jobs, meaning roles that involved manual labor or skilled trades rather than office work. Jobs like construction workers, factory employees, mechanics, and plumbers have long been associated with the working class. However, income levels for these jobs have changed. Many skilled trade workers now earn salaries that would place them in the middle class financially. Because of this, economists now use two definitions for the working class. 1. Cultural working class, based on job type. If a person works in a job that requires physical labor rather than an office setting, they are often culturally considered working class, even if their salary is high. 2. Financial working class, based on income and economic stability. If someone earns enough to get by but still struggles with savings, retirement, or unexpected expenses, they may be classified as financially working class, even if they have a white-collar job. For example, an electrician in Seattle may earn between $80,000 and $104,000 per year, which places them solidly in the middle class by income. However, their job is still considered culturally working class because it involves skilled manual labor rather than a corporate office setting. On the other hand, a young office worker making $40,000 a year in an expensive city might struggle to afford rent and bills, even though they have a professional job. Financially, they are closer to the working class, despite being in a white-collar field. In today's world, the working class is less about what job you have and more about economic security. If you're living paycheck to paycheck with little room for financial growth, you may fit into the modern definition of working class, regardless of your profession. 5. The financial struggles of the working class. One of the key differences between the middle class and the working class is financial stability. While middle-class households often have the ability to save for emergencies, invest in retirement, and afford discretionary spending like vacations and hobbies, many in the working class live paycheck to paycheck with little to no financial safety net. A working-class individual or family may have just enough income to cover necessities, but unexpected expenses, such as medical bills, car repairs, or rent increases, can create significant financial stress. Even those who technically earn middle-class wages may feel working class if their entire income goes toward essentials like rent, food, and transportation, without much left over for savings or leisure. Ultimately, being financially working class isn't just about income. It's about whether your earnings allow for stability, security, and future planning. If you find yourself constantly worrying about bills, unexpected expenses, or job loss, you may fall into this category even if your salary seems relatively high on paper. 6. Can you move from working class to middle class? The idea of upward mobility, the ability to move from the working class to the middle class, is a central part of the American dream. However, in reality, this transition can be challenging due to various economic and social factors. One of the biggest barriers to moving into the middle class is education and skill development. Many middle-class jobs require college degrees or specialized certifications, which can be expensive and time-consuming to obtain. While some high-paying blue-collar jobs exist, such as electricians, welders, and plumbers, many working-class individuals may lack the resources or time to pursue these career paths. While the path to the middle class is not always easy, strategic planning and financial discipline can help individuals improve their economic situation over time. The key is to find opportunities for growth, whether through education, career advancement, or smart financial decisions. 7. The changing definition of class in modern society. In today's world, the traditional definitions of working class and middle class are becoming more blurred. Factors such as rising living costs, stagnant wages, and shifts in job markets have changed what it means to belong to a particular class. For example, someone with a six-figure salary in an expensive city like New York or San Francisco might struggle to afford rent, while a person with a much lower income in a rural town may live comfortably. Similarly, many professionals with college degrees and office jobs, traditionally considered middle class, still struggle financially due to student loans and high living expenses. Additionally, the rise of gig work and contract jobs has created a new group of workers who don't fit neatly into either category. Many people today lack job security, benefits, or retirement savings, making them financially vulnerable even if their earnings seem middle class on paper. As economic conditions continue to change, class identity is becoming less about job titles and more about financial security, stability, and opportunity. Understanding these shifts can help individuals and policymakers address the growing challenges of economic inequality. Defining whether you are middle class or working class isn't as simple as looking at your paycheck. While income plays a role, factors like location, financial security, and lifestyle all contribute to where you stand. Someone earning $80,000 in a small town might feel comfortably middle class, while the same salary in an expensive city could still leave them struggling. The modern working class isn't just about manual labor, it's about economic uncertainty. If you're living paycheck to paycheck with little savings and an uncertain financial future, you likely fall into this category even if your income suggests otherwise. Meanwhile, middle-class status generally comes with a level of stability, allowing for savings, occasional luxuries, and a sense of financial security. So, do you feel financially comfortable, or do you worry about making ends meet? Understanding where you fall can help you make better financial decisions and plan for a more secure future. Understanding the difference between the working class and middle class is crucial in today's economic landscape. While middle-class status is often determined by income, either nationally or regionally, the working class is defined more by financial struggles and job security rather than specific professions. The shift from a cultural to a financial definition of class has blurred the lines, making it harder to categorize individuals based solely on their occupation. Economic mobility is possible but remains challenging due to rising living costs and stagnant wages. Ultimately, class today is less about job titles and more about financial security and stability. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more videos about financial insights, class structures, and much more. Check out this playlist of my top videos on money, careers, and financial success, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Welcome to Advice Central, where we dive deep into the hidden forces shaping your mind and life. Have you ever felt stuck in the same patterns no matter how hard you try to change? That's because your subconscious mind is running the show behind the scenes. But what if you could take control and reprogram it for success, happiness, and growth? In today's video, we'll uncover 5 powerful ways to transform your thinking, break free from limiting beliefs, and unlock your full potential. So, stay with me till the end. This could be the breakthrough you've been waiting for. 1. Breaking free from the past. Most people wake up in the morning and immediately start thinking about their problems. These problems aren't just random. They're tied to specific memories, experiences, and people from the past. Your brain, much like an old tape recorder, replays the same cassette over and over again. If your brain acts as a record of the past, then from the very moment you wake up, you are already living in the past. Each of your memories carries an emotional charge. Whether it's regret, sadness, anger, or disappointment, these emotions are the final product of past experiences. The moment you recall a painful memory, you also relive the emotion tied to it. instantly making yourself feel unhappy, anxious, or even physically tense. This is where the cycle begins. Your thoughts and emotions work together to create your state of being, shaping your mood, personality, and even your habits. If your first thoughts each morning are rooted in past pain, then your past is already dictating your future. Imagine this. Something that happened yesterday made you angry. You wake up today and think about it again, causing the same anger to return. If you repeat this cycle for 2 days, people may think you're just having a bad couple of days. But if it lasts a week, they might say you're in a bad mood. Extend this for months or years, and soon enough, anger becomes part of your identity. You become that person who's always angry. 2. The routine that controls your life. From the moment you wake up, your daily routine kicks in like a well-rehearsed program. You reach for your phone, check your messages, scroll through social media, and maybe glance at the news. These actions make you feel connected, but what they really do is pull you into a familiar cycle, the life you already know. Then the pattern continues. You get out of bed from the same side, use the bathroom, grab your favorite coffee cup, take the same route to work, and see the same coworkers who trigger the same emotional responses. You repeat conversations, react to situations in the same way, and experience the same frustrations. After work, you come home, unwind in the same manner, and prepare for bed, only to wake up and repeat everything again the next day. At this point, your life is no longer a result of conscious decisions. It's a program running on autopilot. Just like a computer follows a preset system, you too are following a deeply ingrained script, written by your past experiences and habits. By the time you're 35 years old, 95% of who you are consists of memorized behaviors, emotional reactions, unconscious habits, and deeply embedded beliefs. This is why change feels so difficult. You may consciously say, "I want to be happy," or "I want to be successful." But deep down, your subconscious mind, the part of you that holds your habits and routines, is running an entirely different program. When your conscious mind, 5% of your brain power, tries to fight against your subconscious mind, the remaining 95%, it's like putting an average person in a weightlifting competition against an Olympic champion. The stronger subconscious mind always wins, pulling you back into old patterns and making real change feel impossible. 3. The barrier between change and you. If you've ever tried to change a habit, you've probably noticed how difficult it can be. Maybe you've attempted to wake up earlier, exercise consistently, or stop overthinking negative situations. But no matter how motivated you felt in the beginning, something kept pulling you back into your old ways. That something is your analytical mind, the gatekeeper between your conscious and subconscious self. Think of it like a filter that separates your thoughts from your deeply ingrained habits and beliefs. This part of your mind is responsible for analyzing, questioning, and evaluating information, which is useful for logical thinking, but often acts as a barrier to real transformation. Here's why. The subconscious mind is where all your automatic behaviors and emotions live. When you want to change something about yourself, your conscious mind may be eager, but the subconscious mind resists because it's already comfortable with your current patterns. The moment you try to introduce a new thought or behavior, your analytical mind steps in, questioning its validity. Is this really possible? Can I actually change? What if I fail? This is why change feels so uncomfortable. The analytical mind keeps you trapped in what is familiar, even if the familiar is painful, unproductive, or self-destructive. It rationalizes your fears, making excuses to keep you in your current state. If you've ever tried meditation, you might have experienced this firsthand. Your analytical mind bombards you with random thoughts, pulling you away from the present moment and back into old mental loops. 4. Escaping survival mode. The human brain is wired for survival. Thousands of years ago, this instinct kept our ancestors alive. helping them avoid predators, natural disasters, and dangerous situations. But in the modern world, most people aren't running from lions or fighting for food. Instead, the threats we face are psychological: stress from work, financial worries, social pressures, or personal failures. And yet, our bodies react to these stressors in the same way they would to a life or death situation. When you experience stress, your body enters survival mode. Your brain shifts into fight or flight, releasing stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Blood rushes to your limbs, preparing you to run or defend yourself. Your heart rate increases, your muscles tense, and your focus narrows onto the immediate threat. The problem? When you're in survival mode, all your energy is directed toward short-term survival, not long-term growth. You stop thinking creatively, lose focus on your future, and become reactive rather than proactive. Your body stays in a heightened state of alertness, making it nearly impossible to create lasting change. If you've ever tried to change while feeling stressed, you probably noticed how difficult it was. That's because stress forces you to focus on problems, not solutions. You replay negative scenarios, anticipate worst-case outcomes, and reinforce old fear-based thought patterns. Your brain isn't interested in transformation. It just wants to get through the day. Living in survival mode keeps you trapped in your past self. It locks you into old habits, old reactions, and old emotional cycles. And if you stay in this state for too long, your body begins to believe that stress, anxiety, and fear are normal. This is why some people find themselves addicted to stress. They unknowingly seek out chaos, drama, or negativity just to feel something familiar. To truly change, you must break free from this survival state. The key is shifting from fear to trust, from stress to calm, and from reaction to intention. This requires training your mind and body to enter a state of balance, where you are no longer driven by past fears, but instead guided by a vision of your future self. But how do you do that? It all starts with the power of visualization, the secret tool that reprograms your subconscious mind and pulls you toward the life you truly want. The power of visualization. If you've ever heard the phrase, "see it to believe it," you might think it means witnessing something before accepting it as real. But what if the opposite is true? What if you need to believe it first, deeply, emotionally, and vividly, before it can ever become real? This is the essence of visualization. It's not just daydreaming or fantasizing. It's a powerful technique that reprograms your subconscious mind, aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the future you want to create. Here's why it works. Your brain doesn't distinguish between a real experience and an imagined one. If you close your eyes and vividly picture yourself holding a cold glass of water, feeling the condensation on your fingers, hearing the ice cubes clink, and tasting the refreshing coolness, it triggers the same neural pathways as if you were actually drinking it. This means that when you repeatedly visualize yourself as the person you want to become, your brain starts to rewire itself to make that vision a reality. Athletes, performers, and high achievers have been using this technique for years. Michael Phelps, the Olympic swimmer, famously visualized every race in detail before even stepping into the pool. He saw himself winning, felt the water against his skin, heard the crowd cheering. So when the actual race happened, his body and mind already knew what to do. He wasn't just hoping for victory, he had already lived it in his mind. Your subconscious mind is incredibly powerful, shaping your thoughts, actions, and ultimately, your reality. To reprogram it for success, start by using positive affirmations to replace limiting beliefs and reinforce a mindset of growth. Visualization helps by immersing your mind in the experience of achieving your goals, making success feel natural and attainable. Mindfulness and meditation allow you to quiet negative self-talk and cultivate awareness of your thoughts, ensuring they align with your aspirations. Repetition and consistency play a crucial role. What you repeatedly think and do becomes ingrained in your subconscious. Lastly, surrounding yourself with positive influences, whether through people, content, or environment, reinforces empowering beliefs and keeps you on track. By applying these techniques, you can reshape your subconscious and create the life you truly desire. Your subconscious mind is the silent architect of your reality. Every thought, belief, and habit it holds influences the life you live. But the good news? You have the power to rewire it. By consistently applying these 5 techniques, whether through affirmations, visualization, mindfulness, or deep introspection, you can shift your mindset, break free from limitations, and step into a life of purpose and success. Transformation doesn't happen overnight, but every small step you take rewires your brain in ways you can't even imagine. Stay patient, stay consistent, and most importantly, trust the process. The life you desire is already within you. You just need to unlock it. If you found this video valuable, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button, subscribe to Advice Central for more life-changing insights, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Your mind is your most powerful tool. Use it wisely. Let me know in the comments which of these principles resonated with you the most. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to Advice Central, the place where real people get real solutions. In our first video, we broke down the difference between the middle class and the working class. Then, we talked about how to reprogram your mindset for success. But today, we're getting straight to the point. No fluff, no guesswork. Just clear, practical steps you can take right now to improve your financial life, your opportunities, and your future. Let's get into it. Number 1. Get new skills. Upgrade yourself to increase your value. Welcome back to the channel. If you've watched our past videos like middle class versus working class and reprogram your mind, you know we're here to speak directly to people who want more out of life, but aren't sure where to start. So here's the truth. If you want to rise in this world, you need new skills. Not degrees, not diplomas hanging on the wall. Skills, real ones that people will pay for. Whether you're a warehouse worker, cashier, mechanic, delivery driver, or customer service rep, there's always another level. Always something you could learn that would increase your value in the job market. And no, this doesn't mean spending thousands on school. It means becoming useful in more ways than you are today. Ask yourself, can I learn how to fix something others can't? Can I figure out a system that saves time or money? Can I train myself to be more organized, speak better, work faster? This could be learning how to manage inventory, how to handle customers better, how to supervise a team, how to track finances, or how to manage time better. You don't need someone to hand it to you. You can start where you are. This is about thinking like a builder. You're not just doing a job, you're building a better version of you, quietly, day by day. The person who keeps learning can never be stuck forever, because skills open doors that talent and hard work alone can't. Number 2, make more money. Stop waiting. Start creating extra income. Let's get brutally honest. You can't save your way to freedom if your paycheck barely covers the basics, and you can't keep depending on one job when the price of everything keeps rising. So here's the tool. You need to make more money, not someday, now. Let's break it down. 1. Ask for more at your current job. Most people never ask. They wait, year after year, hoping their boss notices. Instead, prove your value. Show up early, take initiative, learn something new, and then ask, can we talk about a raise? Be clear, be respectful, but ask. You might be surprised. 2. Use what you already know. Everyone's good at something. Can you braid hair, wash cars, cut grass, fix phones, organize closets, translate, babysit, cook, clean? That's money sitting in your hands. You don't need to quit your job. Start small on weekends or evenings. Do one service for one person. If they're happy, they'll tell someone. That's how it grows. 3. Start simple, not perfect. Most people wait for a business plan, the right timing, or a fancy logo. That's the trap. The truth? You just need to start. The first $20 you make outside of your 9 to 5 will change the way you think. You'll realize money isn't just about labor, it's about value. Solve a problem, meet a need, and people will pay. 4. Stack it. Even $100 a week is $400 a month. That's a car payment, that's groceries, that's a credit card gone. Keep stacking, that's how you build momentum. The goal isn't to hustle forever, it's to create space. Space between you and stress, between you and panic, between you and living check to check. You don't need more hours, you need more options. Number 3. Sell used stuff. Turn clutter into cash, one item at a time. Here's a powerful truth. You're probably sitting on hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars right now. Not in your bank account, but in your basement, your garage, your closets, your kitchen cabinets, old phones, extra chairs, unused gym equipment, baby clothes your kids outgrew, tools you haven't touched in years, even stuff you found on the side of the road. All of it has value to someone else. Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, OfferUp. These platforms are like digital gold mines for people who know how to flip items. You might say, but I don't have anything valuable to sell. Here's a mindset shift. What's useless to you could be useful to someone else. In fact, many people have paid off debt, started savings, or even bought property just by selling second-hand goods. One example, a person was able to buy a house in France after flipping things they found in the trash and selling them on Facebook Marketplace. Think about that. Here's how to start. Go through each room, pull out anything you haven't used in the past 6 to 12 months. Take decent photos with your phone. Post them with clear descriptions and honest pricing. Negotiate kindly. Meet safely in public places. Stack the small wins. You're not just making money, you're decluttering your life. You're learning how to value and trade. And you're building the muscle of action, which is something the middle and working class often overlook in day-to-day survival. Turn your home into your first business. You'll be shocked at how quickly it adds up. Number 4. Downsize to upgrade your life. Less stuff, less stress, more freedom. Sometimes the best way to move forward is to let go. Most people in the middle and working class get stuck because of overhead. Big rent, high car payments, endless bills, subscriptions they forgot about, more clothes than they wear, storage units full of stuff they don't use. And here's the irony. They're working 40, 50, 60 hours a week just to keep what's weighing them down. So here's the tool, downsize. Not because you're giving up, but because you're clearing space to grow. What can this look like? Move from a 3-bedroom to a 2-bedroom. Trade in the brand new car for a reliable used one with no payments. Cancel subscriptions you haven't used in months. Cut your phone bill in half by switching providers. Share Wi-Fi with a neighbor. Sell off large furniture you don't need. It's not about living miserably, it's about living intentionally. When you downsize smart, your monthly costs shrink, and suddenly you breathe easier. You save more, stress less, and most importantly, you open the door for the next version of you to walk through. Downsizing isn't a step back, it's often the smartest first step forward. Number 5. Live within your means. Stop impressing people. Start building freedom. This is the one mindset shift that separates those who survive from those who escape the trap. Most middle and working class people don't struggle because they don't make any money. They struggle because they spend every dollar they make. Or worse, they spend more than they make. Credit cards, buy now, pay later, car loans for vehicles they can't truly afford, designer clothes, phones, dinners, not for joy, but to feel like they're doing okay. Here's the truth. You don't need to look rich. You need to be free. Living within your means doesn't mean living in poverty. It means building discipline. Start by doing this. Track every dollar you spend this week, even the small stuff. Cut out anything that doesn't serve your long-term goals. Fast food, $7 coffee, streaming services you don't use. It all adds up. Pay yourself first, even if it's $10. Put that into savings before you spend on anything else. If you can't afford to buy it twice, you can't afford it once. That's the golden rule. Financial freedom starts with a simple idea: spend less than you earn. Do this consistently, and no matter what your income is today, your future self will thank you. You can't out-earn bad habits, but you can out-discipline your environment. Number 6. Move to another state or country. If the game is rigged, change the board. This one scares people, but it's one of the most powerful tools you can use to escape the grind. Sometimes, no matter how well you budget, save, or hustle, you're just in the wrong place. Too expensive, too crowded, no job opportunities, toxic environment, no community support. So what do? You move. Middle and working class people are often told to work harder, but rarely told to work smarter by relocating. If rent is taking up half your paycheck, move to a place where it doesn't. If you're living paycheck to paycheck in a city with no future, look at towns or even countries where the cost of living is lower and the quality of life is higher. You don't need to move tomorrow, but you can start planning. Research affordable cities or states with lower rent, better job markets, or better schools. Look at countries with friendly visa options and low living costs. Build a remote skill or job that allows flexibility, so you can work from anywhere. Start small, maybe relocate to a nearby town first, then expand your vision from there. Movement creates momentum. When you physically remove yourself from what's draining you, you create space for growth, clarity, and renewal. You're not stuck, you're just used to where you are. But your life can look radically different if you're willing to step outside your zip code. Let's quickly recap what we covered in this video. Get new skills. Upgrade yourself. Whether it's learning how to fix something, use software, or communicate better, every new skill increases your value. Make more money. Look for extra income streams. That could mean a part-time hustle, freelancing, or simply charging what you're truly worth. Sell used stuff on Facebook Marketplace. You'd be surprised how much you're sitting on. Declutter, sell, and turn those forgotten items into real cash. Downsize. Don't let your lifestyle drain your wallet. Reduce your monthly expenses by cutting back on things you don't truly need. Live within your means. Budget smarter. Stop chasing appearances and start building actual security. Move to another state or country. Sometimes the best opportunities aren't where you are. Explore your options, because cost of living and quality of life matter. 6 tools, all within reach. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about choosing where to begin. If you're still watching, that tells me one thing. You're serious about making a change. Now it's up to you. Pick one step from today's list and take action. Even the smallest move forward can change your path entirely. If this helped, drop a comment and let us know what you're starting with. And if you're ready for more practical tools to level up your life, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This is Advice Central, where real advice meets real life. See you in the next one. If you have any questions or need coaching, we're happy to assist. Visit timemanagers.com and send us a message with your contact details. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Thank you for your time and trust.